Now that your junior year is halfway through, it is time to start thinking about your post high school plans. You'll be meeting with your counselor soon to discuss your own specific plans, but this presentation will help go over some of the basics that you need to know about the college application process. It's important to think about what you're looking for in a school. Do you want to live at home or live in a dorm? Some students would like to be no more than 4 to 5 hours away from home, but some are willing to fly to get to their college or university. What are your interests in terms of major and career goals? How much money can you and your family afford to pay for college? Public schools, such as SUNY and CUNY, have a much lower tuition rate than private schools, but private schools may offer you more financial aid. Academic fit is also important to consider as you want to apply to schools that are realistic based on your GPA and test scores. Typically, students apply to about 7 to 10 schools. We recommend that you apply to 2 to 3 likely schools where your grades are above the typically accepted GPA and you are confident you will get in. 2 to 3 good fit schools where your GPA is in the average range of accepted students. And 2 to 3 reach schools where your GPA is a bit below their average of accepted students. When evaluating applicants, colleges will consider the rigor of courses that you've taken first. They would like to see that you're challenging yourself. They also want to see that you're succeeding in those courses. So next they will look at your grades and overall GPA. SAT and ACT scores will be considered as part of the process, though many schools have continued to be test optional, meaning they do not require standardized testing. Letters of recommendation, a resume of activities, and your college essay will also be used in the evaluation process. You should start to think about 2 teachers who you think know you well enough to write you a letter of recommendation. We strongly recommend that you ask these teachers before you leave here in June. Naviance is used extensively for the college application process. Every Oyster Bay student has an account, and you can log into it by clicking on the link in ClassLink. You will use your Google login information to access your account. When you meet with your counselor, they will show you how to do a college search, how to save a list of colleges you are interested in, research schools, and request letters of recommendation. One important feature is the scattergram option, which will show you where you fit amongst other applicants from Oyster Bay who have applied to the same school over the past 10 years. This can help you craft an appropriate list of colleges to apply to. Most of you took the PSAT last fall and are planning to take the SAT or ACT this spring. Some students take a practice ACT and compare that score to their PSAT to see which they perform better on. Colleges are usually willing to take either the ACT or ACT and do not have a preference. The ACT has English, math, science, and a reading section. It takes just under 3 hours to complete. There is more geometry on this test, and you have less time per question than the SAT. You can register for this test at actstudent.org. The SAT has a math and critical reading and writing section. The SAT takes 3 hours to complete, and you will get a bit more time for each question. You'll need to directly register with the College Board to take this test. The website is collegeboard.org. We recommend that you take either the ACT or the SAT at least twice, which will give you the opportunity to let colleges use your SuperScore. By superscoring results, colleges will take the highest score from each section to give you the highest combined score. It's extremely important that you prepare to take these tests by taking a prep course. There are many options available to you. Oyster Bay has partnered with Method Learning to offer free online test prep, which can be accessed on our website. This is a great low-cost option, but you must be self-disciplined as it is a self-led course. Some students prefer a private test company and have taken courses from companies such as Princeton Review, Method Learning, and Test Takers. Some other students prefer to use private tutors. No matter which option you choose, make sure you go into that test well prepared. As you learn more about the college application process, you will begin to hear about various application deadline types. Early decision, or ED, is a binding agreement, meaning you can only apply to one school early decision, and you are agreeing that you will definitely attend if accepted. This is not usually recommended since you have to be sure that you would go to that college if accepted. The deadlines are usually November 1st through November 15th for early decision, and typically you will hear back by the first of the year. Early action is recommended for all students. The deadline is typically November 1st through November 15th, and you will usually hear the admissions decision by January 1st. Some schools do not offer early admissions, and they only have a regular deadline, which is typically January 1st through February 1st. You'll usually hear a decision by March. Rolling admissions means that there is no set deadline, and applications are evaluated as they come. Typically, your application will be reviewed and the decision will be made within 6 weeks for rolling admission schools. There are many different ways to apply to colleges and universities. Most schools use something called the Common Application. CommonApp.org is a website used by over 900 colleges and universities. It allows you to fill out the main portion of the application one time, but send it to numerous colleges. The Common App is easy to use and helps you keep track of your application in an organized and efficient way. SUNY, or State University of New York schools, are usually on the Common App, but they also offer their own SUNY application at suny.edu. Many CUNY, or City University of New York schools, are not on the Common App. To apply to these schools, you must go to their website, cuny.edu, and complete their application. Some colleges and universities do not participate with the Common App, so you will have to complete their own application, which can be found on their website. Each year, Oyster Bay High School hosts on-site admissions. This is when local colleges and universities come to Oyster Bay to meet with students and give them an admissions decision on that day. There are school-specific requirements which you will learn about next year. This year, we had St. John's, LIU Post, SUNY Farmingdale, and SUNY Old Westbury participate in our on-site admissions. Some of these schools will waive the application fee if you participate. Keep in mind that typical application fees are usually around $50 to $85 per school, so the costs can add up. Financial aid is a big part of the college admissions process. In order to qualify for any grants or loans, you must complete the free application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA. The FAFSA is available to complete after October 1st of your senior year. The website is fafsa.ed.gov. There are many scholarship sites that you can use to search for scholarships as well. FastWeb, scholarships.com, Niche, and College Board's Big Future are just a few. Any scholarships that Oyster Bay hears about will be put into a monthly scholarship bulletin, which we post on the Counseling Center website. Keep in mind that the biggest scholarship money that students typically earn come from the colleges they've applied to directly. If you are an athlete who would like to consider playing a D1 or D2 sport in college, you must register with the NCAA Clearinghouse. There are certain course, grade, and testing requirements that must be met. You can go to eligibilitycenter.org to register. We strongly suggest that you speak to your coach soon if this is your plan. You can also talk to your counselor for more information if you're interested in playing sports in college. The most important thing that you can do in your junior year is keep your grades up. This is the last year that your grades can influence your GPA and transcript, so work hard. You should consider your standardized testing options and consider registering for a prep course. It's also a good idea to begin working on a resume of activities that you've participated in grades 9 through 11. Your counselor will be setting up meetings to talk to you individually about your college options. At this meeting, they will review your transcript, go over your courses for senior year, help you do a college search, and show you how you can use Naviance to help you. We know this is an overwhelming but exciting time in your life. The counselors are here to help you and walk you through this entire process. We look forward to talking with you soon about your specific plans.